My name is Bibi Bayless. I'd like to welcome you to the Museum of Robots opening night. The show is Robots and Donuts, and joining us is artist Eric Joyner. Eric, welcome to the Museum of Robots.
It's great to be here.
I want to ask you a few questions about your Robots and Donuts art. You were working as an illustrator when you decided to become a gallery artist, and your first subjects were urban San Francisco landscapes, cartoon characters, and Japanese toy robots. What made you decide to finally focus on robots?
Um, well, I always had a small collection, which got larger over the years. It started about 1981, going to flea markets and antique fairs. And I, at the point when I decided to become a gallery artist, my my strategy was just paint things that I like. And there's a lot of things I like, but so I was branching out into different areas. I moved on to the cartoon paintings, and those were very well received. And I sold all those at different conventions. And at the same time, I started doing the still lifes of the robots. And I did that for a couple of years. Then I realized that they were kind of boring, so I added the donuts into the mix to generate a little more interest.
Was that inspired over morning breakfast, or did you just like donuts as objects? Were there a lot of donuts in your environment anyway?
Yeah, well, at the time there was like 3 bakeries outside my studio, and I've always liked donuts as long as I can remember. And I figured, I might as well just paint things I like, and that's how it came about, really.
What's your favorite donut? Do you have a favorite donut to eat and a favorite donut to paint? Are they the same? Are they different?
No. I think I actually just like your basic glaze the best, but for painting, I like the little circular sprinkles on kind of the more dense coffee type donuts. Those.
Cake. So
a little bit of frosting, like white frosting, and then some sprinkles. Those are fun ones to paint.
So a frosted cake donut is the artist's choice.
Yeah. I think so.
In some of your work, or a lot of your work, at least what's showing at the Museum of Robots, donuts are quite central to the painting. But in others, there are robots and no donuts. How do you decide donut, no donut?
Oh, that's I don't really it's not a conscious decision. It's just a feeling that I had. It's almost intuitive sometimes. I have some vague idea in my head, and sometimes one or the other just isn't necessary. Because ultimately, my goal is just to communicate ideas as an artist, and sometimes there's no reason to have the donuts and robots together. So,
in fact, one of your paintings, "What We Ought Not We Do," references a 1924 canvas, a depiction of a Dempsey match. What was it about that particular painting that inspired you? And are there other works that you've referenced in your art?
oh yeah, sure. Well, the way that happened was unbeknownst to me, I gained some fame on the internet around 2003 as a robot guy, and I got an email from a stranger, this guy, writer in Hollywood, who said, "Why don't you do Rock'em Sock'em Robots?" So I said, "Sure." When I started thinking about, well, what am I going to do with these toys? It occurred to me, I've always loved that painting by George Bellows, Dempsey and Firpo. So I just decided to kind of mimic his composition to a certain extent, with the guy going hit through the ropes and the crowd kind of getting out of the way. And so I just did that with the robots, and it worked out really well.
A lot of your paintings have so much emotion. They're poignant, or they're angry, but they really reference human emotions. How do you depict human emotions, or is that left to the individual to read into that?
No, I think I do it consciously. I tried painting the robots for a while, but I think I'm really interested in people, even though I don't paint any people. I like a lot of aspects of people, and I like, we're very interesting with our emotions, and though I try to just paint them as they are, I can't. I just have to inject the human qualities into them in order for me to really have fun with the work. Did I answer your question right?
It does. I don't know
Okay.
that there was a right answer. That was a fabulous answer. So
Okay.
we'll go with
Good.
it. And finally, in the war between robots and donuts, who would win?
Well, that's a tough question. I don't think there ever really is a winner or loser. It just goes in cycles back and forth, and you could describe it as a never-ending struggle. So, and that's the way I envision it. I don't really. There is no. Obviously, it hasn't been. No one really knows what's going to happen. So everybody
Well,
can
that's
come to their own conclusions.
at least in any galaxy we know there has been no official robot donut war, so we don't know how that works out.
Exactly. We'll just have to
Yeah.
wait.
And,
Eventually, I'm sure that scientists will discover a universe where this is taking place, but we just have to
so you
wait and
make
see.
there you go. So you're not just making this up. You're quite possibly channeling something that's happening somewhere else.
Well, I wouldn't say I was channeling it. I guess subconsciously I could be. Who knows?
It's an interesting world. Thank you so much for joining us today. We love the show and appreciate you taking the time to talk with us at the Museum of Robots. This is BB Bayless. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks. You're welcome.